Hello guys, this is Mark the Geek. In this video I want to give you some tips on how to save battery life. I've been getting very good battery life on my PS Vita, around 4.5 hours to 6 hours, but it all depends how you use it. If you use it constantly, you're gonna get less. If you use it like intervals, like 45 minutes intervals, I get a lot of hours. That's how I play it. So let's start with the tips. My number one tip would be turn off the Bluetooth. By default, the system comes on with the Bluetooth on, I guess, because mine came with it on. So go ahead and go to settings. Just in case you guys don't know, it should be here in networks. When you go to networks, Bluetooth is right there. Just make sure it's off if you're not using it, because it'll be constantly searching for a for a Bluetooth. Number two tip would be turn off the Wi-Fi. If you're not using Wi-Fi, this is gonna be searching constantly. Even when you're on Wi-Fi, cause like I'm connected to Wi-Fi, and as you can see, it's still searching. So it keeps updating. So if you're not using the Wi-Fi, just turn it off, because it's just gonna be searching even when you're connected. And number three tip would be this is the Wi-Fi version. So if you have the 3G version, I believe that in networks you should have some 3G switch to turn it off. And you might also have a GPS switch here. I don't really know the menu, but there should be some way to turn off GPS or 3G. If you're not using it, the same way, turn it off, because it's going to be constantly looking for your location and everything. It'll be looking for your location, especially because of the Near app. So if I were you, I would turn it off. That would be a very good tip right there. Number four, I would say use flight mode. Flight mode is airplane mode, however you want to call it. Sony calls it flight mode. This would be your best bet. That would make tip 1, 2, and 3 a lot easier, because once you choose this, it will automatically disable all networks, and it says it right here: disable all network features of the PS Vita. So this is way better than going through all the menu, deactivating one by one. If you actually use everything here, it's better using flight mode, because flight mode will automatically turn everything off. So you wouldn't have to go back and turn off a Wi-Fi. You don't have to go back to turn off the Bluetooth or the 3G or the GPS. The flight mode should be the one that you use the most. It will make your life easier. So this is a big one. Use flight mode a lot, because once you use that, automatically turns everything off. So another tip, number 5 tip, is when you go to the Near app. Let's go to the Near app. Let's go here. In settings, you got location data and sharing settings. Let's go location and location data. If you have it checked on, let's see what it says here. It will obtain, if you switch this on, Near will obtain your location data automatically at intervals. Near will obtain your location even when it's not running. So that means that even when you're not using the PS Vita, when it's on standby, it will automatically search for your location. So if you got a 3G model with GPS, it will obviously use your 3G data too. So I would recommend turning that off, and I also recommend turning this off, the turn on Near automatic location, because this also does almost the same thing. It will automatically update your location data if you haven't manually updated in Near for a while. So this same thing, I would turn that off. Everything else, I would leave it just the way it is, because it won't really burn battery. But those two options, I would definitely disable those two options if you're using Near. Let me see. Tip number 6 would be in the messaging app. Let me see. There's a messaging app right here. In the messaging app, It's not a really big deal, but if you're a little bit paranoid, let's go let it load. Okay, here in messaging app, go to settings. Right here where it says receive automatically, I got it set for every 30 minutes. So in this case, you could go ahead and turn it off if you don't want the Vita to automatically search for update your messaging app, even when it's on standby. So, and yes, it would burn a little bit of battery, not that much, but it would still get some battery. It still has to use battery for that feature. So if I were you, you could leave it in 1 hour, every hour, or every 30 minutes, or off. If you don't like being bugged too much by messages, if you got too many friends in your list, you might want to leave it off, or you might put it per hour. So let me leave it there for per hour. Another tip would be recommended is close all the apps that has live wall refresh, and the PSN, like the PSN store and the video store, the video app, they have live backgrounds. Like you can see there, it stays updating in the background even when you're not in it. Like right here, you can still see it updating right there. You know, it stays updating in the background, and I've noticed that this has actually been a difference. When I close it, I can notice that I get better battery life, because this is gonna stay there. This is gonna stay updating constantly. So, and there's some apps, not just the PSN store. Like for example, the video app has a background too. I don't know why it's not updating right now, but I've noticed before that it has been updating. So I don't know why not, but I noticed before. And some games do have background live too. Like not this game, but I had the Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom from Japan, and that game had a live background. So it was constantly updating. Even when you're not using the game, it would be updating the background. This is the Unit 13 demo. It has a background there, but I don't see it updating. But like I said, some games do have updating live background. Some don't. So I recommend, if you're not using those apps, just close them, because they are still going to be updating in your background. Another tip would be the brightness. Okay, if you press the home button for 2 seconds, here you can control the brightness. Like you can see there, I got my brightness almost all the way down. You could put it halfway, you could put it all the way up. It doesn't matter if you put it completely down, because you can still play games with it. And if you when you're in the dark, it feels a lot better on your eyes to play games when it's like this. Like you can see, you can still play games like that. So there's no problem like putting it halfway. Let's leave it halfway for now. But yeah, that's a good tip. And if you put it all the way down, like I said, you're not gonna make the screen dark. You'll still be able to play. Another tip that I want to show you guys is let's go here to settings and sound. Nope. And nope. Okay, here in sounds, this is not a big deal, but it might help to save battery life. In notification alerts, it says PS button. What it is that, let's say your system is on standby. Standby means complete the screen off. This button, the home button, if you get a message alert or something like that, or some update, this will light up, and it would stay lit up until you read the message. Like if you have it overnight, near your bed or wherever, automatically this light is going to stay on till you actually go into the system and look at the message. So this little light right here might drain maybe a very small percentage of power, but yes, it will drain a little bit of power because it's still a light. I would say if you're that paranoid, you could uncheck that if you want. And another thing is system music. Like you can see here, you can't hear no background music, no background sound. That's because, one, I got annoyed of it. I was using it for 2 weeks and I finally got annoyed of it, so I just turned it off. Right here in sounds, you could turn that off, and I guess that could save you battery too, because it's using music in the background, right? So I guess that might help to save battery life, and I've been getting good battery life, so maybe that's one of the reasons too, because it's music in the background, so it's running, so I guess that would be a good tip too. And another tip, I would say the last tip would be in power. When you go to power save settings in auto standby, you could change it from 1 minute, 3 minutes, or 5 minutes. I keep it on 3 minutes because I don't like having to wake up my Vita every time I put it down. So 1 minute, it will turn off very fast, and it'll save you battery. But if you're annoyed of that, you could put it on 3 minutes, or you could put it on 5 minutes. I like it on 3 minutes, and that really helps. But you could go ahead and put it on 1 minute, and it'll help you very much too. So that's all, guys. Those are all my tips. Those are approximately 9 tips I gave right there. If you guys got any tips that I should know, leave some comments in the bottom, and like the video and subscribe. Thank you, guys. Till next time.